To order. Mary Jo, will you call the roll, please?
Katie Gallagher.
Mrs. Katie Gallagher's excused this evening. She actually had her baby about 4:30, I think it was. So congratulations to him and her entire family, including Mrs. Colleen Gallagher.
Kevin Tansky.
And Mr. Tansky is excused this evening because he is sick.
Tom Murphy.
I'm here.
Kathy Pucci.
I'm here too.
Tony DeMarco.
Here.
Ron Van Kirk.
Mr. Van Kirk was here at the Finance Committee meeting. He had a work commitment that he could not get out of. He's expected to be back about 7:15, 7:20-ish.
Colleen Gallagher.
Here.
Okay. Will you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to have a swearing in of our newest firefighter. The mayor's going to step down from the podium.
Okay, Brian, bring everybody up. They can all come up. Pronounce it Cease. Okay. Do you want you to stand over here, am I right? Sure. Okay, we're going to swear in a new Brooklyn fireman. Would you raise your right hand and repeat after me, please? I, Brian Cease,
I, Brian Cease,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the charters and laws of the City of Brooklyn, Ohio,
the charters and laws of the City of Brooklyn, Ohio,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
and perform all duties
and perform all duties
incumbent on me as a firefighter paramedic
incumbent on me as a firefighter paramedic
in the City of Brooklyn, Ohio,
in the City of Brooklyn, Ohio,
according to the best of my ability and understanding.
according to the best of my ability and understanding.
This I promise as I shall answer to God.
This I promise as I shall answer to God.
Congratulations, firefighter. Cease. Yeah. Doesn't look like it. That's what it is.
Congratulations. Okay, next we'll move on to our public session. If anyone has anything to say for the good and welfare of the City of Brooklyn, please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and please observe our 5-minute time limit.
My name is Jim Lang. My address is 3122 Seven Bridges Road in Medina. I'm here in support for the school levy. Was born and raised in Brooklyn, went to Brooklyn schools, Brookridge, through the junior high and high school. Prepared me very well for my college days. I went to Cleveland State, got my Bachelor of Science in Chemistry. I've moved on since then to become the Director of Research and Development and Quality for Permatex Corporation here in Solon. And, I just thought that the Brooklyn schools prepared me very well for my endeavors in school and then on to my professional life. And, we'd just like to say I'd like to support that, and I think it's a really good, solid plan that they have in place. So,
Thank you.
mm-hmm.
Does anyone else have anything to say for the good and welfare of the city of Brooklyn? Okay, we'll move on to reports of committees, commissions, and boards. And we'll begin with the Finance Committee report. We did meet earlier this evening at 6:30, and we did approve all of the legislation that we have on our agenda and all the trade-ins and the acceptance of bids. And I'll elaborate on what the details are for each item, since we've got a lengthy agenda this evening when I read them into the record. Next is, Mr. Tansky's not here this evening, so there's no rec board report. So next would be Mrs. Colleen Gallagher for domestic violence.
Please be advised that the next meeting of the Brooklyn Domestic Abuse Commission will be held Wednesday, April 10th at 7:00 p.m. at the Brooklyn Senior Community Center. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Next is the Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. Fitzgerald.
Thank you. The Board of Zoning Code Appeals at its March 21st, 2013 meeting decided to defer the fence variance requested by the owner of 4729 Fairway Lane, and since then, the owner has withdrawn their request. The Board of Zoning Code Appeals will be meeting on April 18th, 2013 to hear a sign variance request for the new sign package for the Dunkin' Donuts Baskin Robbins located at 4740 Ridge Road. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. And because Mrs. Katie Gallagher is not with us this evening, the mayor will give a report from the Planning Commission.
The Planning Commission met on Thursday. There were 6 items on the agenda. 5 of them had to do with signs. The first one was a sign going up at Super Kmart located at 7700 Brook Park Road. That was approved. There was a request for a sign for Huntington Bank to be located at 6300 Bidoff Road. They're inside of Giant Eagle. That sign was okayed. There was another request at Giant Eagle for their open 24-hour sign to be put on the building, and that was okayed. There's a complete new sign package for the entire building of Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin Robbins located at 4740 Ridge Road. That was voted in. And there was a request from Neft and Associates for a lot split consolidation of Sam's Club located at 10250 Brook Park. That was approved. And the final one was a request from Brilliant Electric Sign Company to put up the sign for Donald Martins and Sons. It'll take down the flower sign on Brook Park and replace it with theirs, and also another sign with their company name on it on the building. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. That concludes the reports of committee, commissions, and boards, and we'll now move on to reports of council, and this evening we'll begin with Mr. Tom Murphy.
I have no report.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to Mr. DeMarco.
I have nothing to add this evening.
Okay. And Mr. Van Kirk has not joined us yet, so we'll move on to Mrs. Gallagher.
Thank you. A countywide prescription drug drop box program was introduced today with the efforts of several people and agencies across the county. Thank you to County Executive Ed Fitzgerald, Judge David Mattia, the County Sheriff's Department, the County Health and Human Services Board, the County Department of Justice Affairs, and the West Shore Enforcement Bureau. This initiative supports Cuyahoga County's interest in removing unsafe, unused, or expired prescription drugs from the resident's home in a safe manner. In addition to promoting the safe disposal of prescription drugs, the drug drop boxes decrease the likelihood of intentional and unintentional prescription drug abuse. It's estimated that approximately 20% of people in the United States have used a prescription drug for a non-medical reason. Proper disposal of expired prescription reduces the likelihood of abuse by family, friends, or visitors. Further, disposal of prescription drugs in a prescription drug drop box reduces the environmental impact on citizen drinking water and natural waterways by providing citizens with an alternative to flushing drugs down the toilet. The Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department will be responsible for the collection, inventory, weighing, and transport for destruction, The prescription medications recovered from the drug drop boxes located throughout the county. Thank you to Mayor Richard Belbier and Chief Scott Milkey for participating in this program for the betterment of our community. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. I have a brief report this evening. First, I would like to congratulate and welcome our newest firefighter to the Brooklyn Fire Department, firefighter Cease. I wish him a very long, healthy career with our fire department. On March 27th, I attended the Ohio Attorney General's Public Records Act and Open Meeting Law training session. This is something that is mandated that once in each term, elected officials have to attend this training. A lot of it was a review because I've been to it before, but it's always, good to basically, get everything refreshed. We know that we have some issues in this area. The auditor has brought these to our attention. I know that they have been on the back burner because we've had more critical issues facing the city, but this is something that I'd really like to see us move forward with so that we're in 100% compliance. I too saw the information on the drug box, and I first became aware of the opportunity for these drug boxes a few years ago, and I brought this to Chief Tenaglia's attention, and that's what the box is in our lobby of our police department. However, right after we got it, we were told that it did not conform to certain standards, so we basically couldn't use it. So I'm very pleased to, learn that this now is moving forward countywide. This is a very critical issue that is facing a lot of families in Northeast Ohio, even in our community of Brooklyn, and that is drug abuse situations that basically start with prescription drugs. In many cases, someone taking a prescription drug that does not belong to them, and then they get hooked. So anyways, I'm glad to see that that's finally going to come to fruition. And that completes my report. So we'll move on to the mayor's report. Mayor Belbier.
Thank you, Mrs. Pucci. This drug box, a couple years ago, I suggested to the chief that we do this, and we got an old mailbox, and we had it down there. We were going to use that, but then we couldn't do it, so now we got this drug box. However, I intend to take the old mailbox, this is my idea anyway, and bring it up here to City Hall, and you can take your old American flags and put it in there, and we'll dispose of the flags properly. So as soon as we get that set up, I'll let you know. But I'm glad that the county finally did this, because now we can start with ours, and look into that tomorrow, Sergeant, and see if we can, when we can start using it.
I actually spoke with two representatives of the Sheriff's Department on Friday. They came in and advised me that sometime this week we can expect an email from them to tell us what day they'll come to start picking up the drugs.
Okay, and I think it was my understanding you can't put liquids in there though, right?
No liquids, no needles.
Okay. All right, thank you. On tonight's agenda, we have a resolution opposing this House Bill 5. That's with the municipal income tax. Every meeting I go to, this is the main topic because it affects every city, just like Brooklyn. Most of our income comes from our municipal income tax, and we don't want the state messing around with it. And I haven't met a mayor yet that's in favor, whether a Democrat or Republican, everybody's against this. So hopefully we pass this tonight, it'll be added to the agenda. How many cities are against this? Because we're not against everything, like a uniform policy, so you use the same tax form in every city, and uniformity is okay, but they want to do a lot more than that. That's going to cost our city approximately maybe up to $150,000 we would lose. So I hope this passes tonight, and I know the Mayor's Association is fighting this vigorously. A couple topics that were on the agenda the last couple weeks was the Plain Dealer. I know we all read about that. I've been in contact with the Plain Dealer. They can't give me too much information other than what's in the paper. I talked to the manager of the plant on Tiedemann today. He says all he knows is they're going to switch to the 3-day format at the end of summer. He said, I don't know if the end of summer means August, September, or whatever. And the one day they're going to publish for sure is Sunday. The other 2 days haven't been established yet. But I explained to him, I says, well, this is the production plant, and you're going to be producing every day, you're going to be printing. He says, yes. The only problem is, because they're not going to do home delivery 7 days a week, they'll be making less papers, so there'll probably be some layoffs, but it probably won't be as drastic as what's going to happen downtown. But right now, nobody has a clear answers to all these questions, and what everybody forgets is the answers don't come from Cleveland. They come from the parent headquarters in New York, so they have to wait till that filters down. So right now, it's on hold. The other thing is the American Greeting. I read their filing with the Security and Exchange Commission, and basically they said in there that everything at this point is on hold until all this is corrected when they physically take over all the stock so it becomes a family company again. So their exact words was, everything is on hold. And I know they haven't taken out any building permits in Westlake yet, so as far as we know, everything's on hold, and every day they stay in Brooklyn is to our advantage. Then I got a letter from the Cleveland Water Department. There's going to be a lot of changes again with the Water Department. First of all, their automatic meter reading is up to date. They have 60,000 of them installed already in our area. Brooklyn's still on the schedule to be done at the end of the summer. Then they've got a new website that you can go to for information. Then, because of all the changes in the sewer regulations, they're going to start, I think they're going to start this year, November of 2013, they're going to start having 2 separate bills again. So we went from having 1 bill, which was nice and easy. Now in November, they intend to go back to 2 bills a month, one from the sewer and one from the water department. Then, when all that's done and all the meters are in and everything, in 2016, they're going to go back again and go back to monthly billing. So we went to a quarterly billing and combined billing, and now we went backwards again, so that this won't take place till 2016. So the water department has a lot on their agenda. So that'll happen with the monthly billing in 2016. And that's all I have.
Mayor, I know that this issue came up with the, residents had some concerns about the automated meters, and we asked if there would be like a community meeting. I thought we asked for that.
The last time I talked to them, they told me that they're gonna put out all kinds of literature when it gets close to the end of the summer. But they'll have a meeting if we request one, yes.
Okay. I think I had someone, I think Mr. DeMarco
Yes.
had residents, and I think Mrs. Gallagher also had residents. So I would think we would want to be proactive and have them schedule a meeting.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to wait a little bit till they start.
Oh, I understand.
We had one for the businesses, for the sewers, but not the
Right.
water department.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next we have director's reports, and this evening we'll begin with Mr. Verba.
Thank you, Mrs. Pucci. I would just like to congratulate Tim Raker on his 23 years of service. He's retiring as of Friday. I'd just like to announce to everyone that the compost program will officially begin on Monday, April 15th. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fitzgerald, Building Department. I had you on my list.
Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know that the 2 grocery stores in town, Giant Eagle and Aldi's, have permits to do major alterations to the interior of their property. So when you go shopping, just be a little careful around the construction equipment. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on. We have a request to authorize a trade-in from the fire department. We purchased a power pump unit, and we need authorization to trade in our previous one. We need a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
We need a second? And let's note that Mr. Van Kirk arrived at 7:20, so he's not participating.
Second?
To authorize the trade-in, Tom Murphy,
Yes.
Kathy Pucci,
Yes.
Tony DeMarco,
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk,
Yes.
Colleen Gallagher.
Yes.
Mr. Van Kirk, do you have a report this evening that you'd like to share?
No, we can wait till next time.
You sure? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have a letter from Mr. Verba, Service Director. He's requesting council approval for the trade-ins of 2 Service Department lawnmowers, 1 Jacobson, 1 Ransom. The trade-in of these 2 lawnmowers will be used to purchase the budgeted Hustler lawnmower. Baker Vehicle has agreed to give the city a $10,500 credit for the 2 traded-in lawnmowers to use towards the purchase of the Hustler lawnmower, which is $10,372. The remaining $128 will be used towards repair and maintenance purchases for the service department lawnmowers. We need a motion to authorize.
Motion to approve.
Second.
To authorize the trade-ins, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
And I do want to mention on the fire department trade-in that that trade-in is for $600. Okay, next we have another letter from Mr. Verba. Bid proposals were received on Thursday, March 21st, 2013, for renovation to the John M. Coyne Recreation Center weight room. Please see the attached unofficial results of the bid opening. Although the city's policy is lowest and best bid for acceptance, White House Construction can complete the project in a shorter period of time. This is the same company that was responsible for the renovation of the senior center bathrooms last year. We were extremely happy with their work on that project. After reviewing the bids, I respectfully recommend acceptance of the bid submitted by White House Construction in the amount of $47,700. And as a side note, just to bring to everyone's attention, we received this is part of the Domino Trust. We had a resident, Mr. Domino, who left part of his estate to the city and specified that it go towards the cardiovascular room. So we are renovating the former racquetball court and purchasing additional equipment. And the city will probably need to contribute approximately $15,487 additional funds to complete the project. This was something that we did anticipate. We need a motion to accept the bid.
Move to accept the bid.
Second.
To accept the bid, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
Okay, next we have Resolution 2013-3, expressing strong opposition to the passage of House Bill 5 as it is currently written by the Ohio General Assembly, which proposes uniformity measures for municipal income tax in the form of unfunded mandates and a substantial loss of revenue. And we do have a memo from our finance director. This is the second bill that's been introduced on this topic, and our best estimate of what this would mean to Brooklyn in the way of lost revenue is anywhere from $157,000 to $162,000 per year. But more importantly, it would be a severe problem in the cash flow area, because right now we get an advance from RITA and then a reconciliation. The state does not pay out funds like that. They tend to hold back as long as they can. And because we as a community depend so much on municipal income tax, this would be a very serious problem for us. And we are going to pass this by emergency measure this evening.
Introduced by all, suspend the rules.
Second.
To suspend the rules, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
To adopt, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
Next, we have ordinance 2013-16, which is up for second reading this evening, providing for the issuance and sale of $728,900 notes in anticipation of the issuance of bonds to pay costs of resurfacing certain city streets to be approved by city council, together with all work incidental thereto. And do I need to state again on the second reading that the fiscal officer's certificate is attached? Okay, and for the record, the fiscal officer's certificate is attached, so that's on second reading. Okay, next is ordinance 2013-17, which is also on second reading, providing for the issuance and sale of $646,100 notes in anticipation of the issuance of bonds to pay costs of improvements to city buildings, including parking therefor. And the fiscal officer's certificate is also attached to this. So that is on second reading. Okay, next we have ordinance 2013-18, which is on first reading, amending sections 1360.16B and E, license application form and fee of Chapter 1360, Property Maintenance and Rental Licensing Code of the Brooklyn Codified Ordinances. This takes our licensing fee from $50 to $100, and it also will take the late fee, if someone does not file, from $50 to $100. And that's on first reading. Next is ordinance 2013-19, which we're going to pass by emergency measure this evening, amending section 749.08, fee of chapter 749, registration of contractors of the Brooklyn Codified Ordinances. Right now, our fee for a contractor to register is $75. We are going to increase that to $100, and we have also included a penalty if a contractor begins work prior to registering. The fee shall be doubled. And we're going to pass that by emergency measure this evening.
Introduced by all, suspend the rules?
Second.
To suspend the rules, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
To adopt, Tom Murphy.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, you may.
I wanted to comment that this fee that the city is charging does not mean that we endorse or support the contractor. If they have a license to do business in the city of Brooklyn, you have to do your own due diligence. So when you look in the computer and see they've been sued by everybody, just because they have a permit here, and they still may have a permit here. I want to vote for the registration fee.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
Next is ordinance 2013-20, which is up for first reading this evening, amending section 1361.05, occupancy permit fee of chapter 1361, occupancy permits of the Brooklyn Codified Ordinances. Currently, our occupancy permit rates are $25 for a permanent permit and $25 for a temporary permit. And with the change, it will be $75 for each. And that's on first reading. Okay, next is ordinance 2013-21, which we'll be passing by emergency measure this evening. An ordinance authorizing the purchase of one Vermeer chipper and associated equipment in the amount not to exceed $27,301.56 from Vermeer Sales and Service Incorporated.
Introduced by all, suspend the rules?
Second.
To suspend the rules, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
To adopt, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
Okay, next we have ordinance 2013-22, authorizing the mayor to retain Franz Ward LLP for consulting services on behalf of the city of Brooklyn, and this is in an amount not to exceed $40,000, and this will be passed by emergency measure this evening also.
Introduced by all, suspend the rules?
Second.
To suspend the rules, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
To adopt, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
Okay, next is ordinance 2013-23, authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the K Company for the replacement, conversion, and repairs of a pool pack at the Brooklyn Natatorium not to exceed $18,000, and this will be passed by emergency measure.
Introduced by all, suspend the rules?
Second.
To suspend the rules, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
To adopt, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
Next, we have ordinance 2013-24, which will be passed by emergency measure, authorizing the purchase of 3 2013 vehicles for use by the Brooklyn Police Department. And we are purchasing 2 cars, Ford Tauruses, for $29,047.75 each, and 1 Explorer for $30,196.93.
Introduced by all, suspend the rules?
Second.
To suspend the rules, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
To adopt, Tom Murphy.
Yes.
Kathy Pucci.
Yes.
Tony DeMarco.
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk.
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Yes.
Okay, that completes our agenda. Does the mayor or any other council person have anything they'd like to say?
Could I be recognized?
Yes, Mr. DeMarco.
Just curious, are there any updates at all from the Economic Development Committee, or we haven't seen any minutes? And I don't know, maybe once or twice this year, so just curious if there's an update, or we can get one at the next meeting.
I think I gave an update of the last meeting we had. We have not met recently. I will talk to Fran about scheduling a meeting. We did have one scheduled, but trying to think if it was canceled.
Yeah, something happened.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anything
Motion to
else?
adjourn?
We need a second?
To adjourn, Tom Murphy,
Yes.
Kathy Pucci,
Yes.
Tony DeMarco,
Yes.
Ron Van Kirk,
Yes.
Colin Gallagher.
Tony, do you have a